back to Focus Montreal. Next weekend, some of the top Jewish comics in North America will all gather at the Oscar Peterson Concert Hall for the 2009 Jewish Comedy Fest. This year, they're raising money for the Chabad House in NDG. And joining me now, the founder of that house, Rabbi Yisroel Bernath, and the co-director of the festival, Louis Glazer. Thanks so much for coming in, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
This is an annual event, this comedy festival, right?
It is. It's the second time we're doing it.
And do you always raise money for the Chabad House, or is it different causes each time?
No, each time it's been for Chabad of NDG, yeah.
And you opened Chabad of NDG about 7 months ago, right?
About 7 months ago, yes. After the terrible attacks in Mumbai, of which a young rabbi and his wife were just a horrible event. Mm-hmm. And we felt that to answer that tragedy with something good, with kindness, with love, with rebirth, and that was the answer to that, was opening up something that we can say here in Montreal, we have a living legacy.
And why NDG? Why did you pick that location? Because I was seeing on your website that you spotted a need there, right, for this kind of spiritual counseling?
That's right. Well, there's nothing really Jewish in NDG. And there's a lot of young Jews that hang out there. I mean, it's very trendy, it's up and coming, and Monkland Avenue just seems to be just a natural gravitation for a young Jew. And there are many young Jews, such as Louis, who have been coming around.
and taking part in the activities there. Okay. So you are the co-chair of this event, and you founded the event to raise money for the Chabad House.
That's
in
right,
NDG,
with the rabbi.
All right.
Yeah.
And tell me about the event. What happens at the Jewish Comedy Festival, and what goes on there? It's
going to be a great night with all kinds of different comics. Actually, we went through a whole multitude of different people before in choosing and selecting, as you remember that. Mm-hmm. And we found the cream of the crop. We found the best of the talent, and Louiis speaks for himself. He's the pride of Montreal, and two other great acts, which are also Israel Campbell, who's a great comedian. We picked him out. He was a natural, and a great mentalist, a great hypnotist. So a couple people in the first row, they may be, you know, barking like dogs by the end of the night. You never know. And
they're from, some of them are from New York, right? So one of the comics is from New York, is that right?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Which one is that? Is that Yisrael?
Israel Campbell's from Jerusalem, and Mark Salem from New York.
Mark Salem from New York.
Right.
Okay, and Louiis, who you mentioned from Montreal.
Who's a local.
Who's a local guy, and everybody loves him so much. And tell me how important this fundraising is for the Chabad House. How critical is it for your bottom line?
It's very important. You know, it's just, you know, obviously we run only on funds from people, from the kindness of people's hearts, and this is a way that I think that people can have a good time and also help us out at the same time. They can have a nice, enjoyable night, laugh a little bit. Now, there's an old Jewish saying that says, joy breaks all boundaries.
It's true, isn't it? And if you can have a good time, that's the best thing. Yeah. I know that it's happening on the Loyola campus, and the Chabad House, you have a special relationship with the Loyola campus and the Concordia University there. Yeah, do you want to talk a bit about that?
Sure. We do a lot of programming on Loyola campus, and there's a lot of Jewish students at Loyola, and there really hasn't been in the past a Jewish life at Loyola, and that's what we've been doing over the past 6 months. We've been trying to build up the Jewish life at Loyola, and try to just fuse a little bit of a spark, a little Judaism into people's lives. That's the idea. And
has this been important to you? I mean, the rabbi was saying that you come around the Chabad House, and it's been important to you as a resident of that area. It's been important to you and your friends in that neighborhood?
It has. It's been a good center for where, you know, we can go, we can hang out, we can talk, we can discuss Judaism, and you can't necessarily do that in the conventional synagogue. Yeah. And that you're also surrounded by younger people, whereas you tend to feel a little more alienated with older people.
So it's been a positive thing, you think, for the community?
It has, and we were discussing it before, but he's been around. These discussions and all the activities have been going on for over 4 years now, so time flies, and it's been a great addition to the community.
Yeah, and besides the spiritual aspect, I know you're doing food bank activity. You're really reaching out to the NDG area.
Absolutely.
Right? The toys for the sick children. Yeah.
And we try hospital visitation, anything we can do, and also it's the idea of giving back and allowing young people the ability to give back, and that's incredible. I think that's special.
It's a great thing. All right, so the event is the 14th, next Sunday, and there's a website, right?
Yes.
www.jewishmonkland...
JewishComedyFest.com.
Oh, JewishComedyFest.com, and there's a site for the Chabad House, too.
Yes,
right?
JewishMonkland.com.
JewishMonkland.com, and when you go on the JewishMonkland.com site, there is a big profile for the Comedy Festival.
Yes.
Thank you both for coming in.
Thank you.
About it. Appreciate it. The Jewish Comedy Festival, it is coming up on the 14th of June out on the Loyola campus, so take note. out and get yourself a ticket if you feel like it. And one more big event in town this weekend to tell you about, and that is the 2009 Monopoly Championships being held for the first time ever in Montreal. It's all happening at the Montreal Science Centre. 46 finalists, 48 of them vying for the title of Canadian champion. They were selected based on their answers on an online quiz testing their knowledge of Monopoly. The first to score 80% or higher were invited to compete right here in Montreal. Top player earns the prestigious title of Monopoly Canadian champion, $15,000, and will represent Canada at the Monopoly World Championships in Las Vegas in September. And joining me now to tell us more about the event is Chief Judge and Monopoly expert Phil Orbanes. Thanks for coming in, Phil.
Happy to be here, Jamie.
How do you get to be a chief judge at a Monopoly